This week was one of, if not the wildest golf tournament I've ever seen. But it wasn't Rory Mcilroy versus the world or anything like that. It was Rory versus Rory. And the story is insane.
Every time that I've been there and I've had a chance, I've learned something.
And I think I've learned to get a little bit tougher in that way.
The only person stopping him from doing that on the big occasion is himself.
Rory has been fighting demons for years in his golf game, and it was like that from the jump this year at the 2025 Masters. After a very solid first 14 holes on Thursday at 4 under, he lost himself with an overly ambitious chip from behind the green on 15, landed in the water, and that sent him off the rails, leading to another double bogey on 17. Much poor golf, and it led a little bit into his Friday round as well, having a relatively mediocre first 9 holes there. However, this year he turned it around there, blazing through Amen Corner to end 6 under on the day, 2 strokes back. Today you're going to see a little bit of a theme here with Rory, where Rory makes mistakes today especially, or this year especially, not necessarily because he's struggling in his golf game, but because he's struggling up here. But we've seen him talk about several times, seeing more sports psychologists and getting a handle on that understanding of the game that he's never really been great at. But this year it was different, because every time he brought himself back down, which, you know, we've seen him do a lot, he fought back. He got back up and did something brilliant almost every single time. After that fantastic final 9 on Friday, he led that into a brilliant front 9 on Saturday, playing some of the best golf I've ever seen, chipping in, driving the ball a mile, and making putts. It was nearly perfect, and it was beautiful to see. To see him in the lead, to see him fighting up there was great. For me as a Rory fan, as someone who loves the story of Rory, I couldn't really have hoped for anything better. And another theme that I noticed for this week, and that I've seen recently in Rory's game, is that he has it. Whatever it is, he is playing incredibly. Very much so did that this week. I think he was the best golfer out there by far. However, mental Rory's always there to mess stuff up, and you definitely saw that on Saturday, because on the back 9 you saw him miss those short putts again, which shows some similarities to the 2024 US Open, where he fell apart a little bit at the end there and basically gave Bryson DeChambeau the win. But his great golf prevailed, bringing him to Sunday at 12 under, 2 ahead of the guy he dueled it out with last year at the US Open, Bryson DeChambeau. Now, this really set up an insane competition or wild story for Sunday. And it didn't really help that I think Bryson looked so ready for the fight. You saw him in the post-match interview, you saw him high-fiving fans. He had the right energy. He had that hunger that you've seen from great winners in the past, while Rory was locked in his own zone. And then you saw in the post-match, or when he was talking to the reporter about his game, he also happened to see Bryson make that putt off the green on 18 while he was doing it, and she asked him a few questions about having that duel, having that final round, having that final grouping together, and Rory was just very much so, yeah, gotta keep in my own world, like not the wild winner, super hungry animal mentality that we've seen from Tiger, the greatest winners, the guys that can just close out the world, Scotty even last year. You didn't see that at all from Rory, and that worried me a little bit. Now, I wasn't that worried, because I think all week Bryson hasn't been his best. He's bailed himself out from hitting poor shots by having some of the best short game I have ever seen. From the sands, I don't know if there's anyone as good as him anymore as right now at all. He is elite there, and his putter was on fire, helping him get out of the way from constantly driving it into the woods, even with his 3-wood, or pulling his iron shots, and he has said he didn't have his game. So going into Sunday, I was convinced it was going to be a Rory versus Rory day today. Yet again, as we saw in 2011, when Rory basically took it away from himself, messing up on 10, driving it into the woods, capitulating, losing the lead, and then losing that tournament. But today it was different. This could not have gone wild. They're the 2 most popular guys in the world. Even if Bryson's game isn't on point, only 2 strokes back from a Rory who is going to be fighting demons. You never knew what could happen. And on the first hole, guys, oh my God, double bogey 6 from Rory. Not only is it unlucky, he drives it right into the lip of the bunker, which he does again on the second hole. And then the third hole, his aggression paid off while Bryson laid up. It is absolute. It just fuels the fire, brings Rory back up 1 over Bryson. And then you see that kind of take over here. Rory throws a dart on 4. Bryson hits a poor shot, and then Rory goes up 3 now. So it's 12. to 9, and then everyone else is still kind of slowly moving up the leaderboard. Justin Rose is going to make a run shortly that we'll get into, but it was really Rory's tournament to lose himself in. Birdies again at 9 and even 10, the hole that was so evil for him. Hitting the driver, fantastic. However, this is where he starts to play conservatively, and I understand the play because he's so far up, and so he lays up a couple times, and that really goes wrong, especially on 13. On 13, he lays up. On 13 is a beautiful hole, one of the best on the course. He lays up here, and then he ends up putting it in the creek on his 3rd shot, when this tournament should have been comfortable, even if Justin Rose had the round of his life, which he very well did. It should have been Rory's here. But that double bogey changed. When Rory was on 13, Jim Nantz read a quote that I wrote down here by Bobby Jones that said, many tournaments are won or lost on 13. They just don't always recognize it. And that was exactly the case here. When he put it in the water on that layup and then, struggled a little bit there, making it his 4th double bogey of the week, which they kept saying, no one has ever won the tournament with more than 3 double bogeys. But then again, as I said, the main theme here is Rory bouncing back. And that's exactly what happened. On 14, he gets lucky for I think the first time in this round, or really gets lucky. When that ball stayed up on 14, it was different. Now, we still saw that layup mentality, and the difference between him and Tiger throughout this round is so obvious to me, because Tiger was just going after everything, trying to go as low as possible, wasn't worried about the lead. But today, every time Rory got the lead, I was worried about it. But he had to come back and fight for that spot. He had to fight today again, too. But he didn't fight anywhere as much as he fought on 15. Played a really solid drive, was a little bit blocked out on the tree. Beautiful par 5, probably my favorite hole in golf. It's beautiful. And then played one of the best iron shots I've ever seen. It was landed perfectly, rolled right up to the pin. I thought it could go in for a second. It didn't, but he misses the putt. And yes, it's a birdie, puts him up. And while this was going on, Justin Rose looked really hungry. This guy wanted it. And at the same time, this was the live score with Rory 1 ahead of Rose and Ober. On 16, he made a solid par. And then on 17, a smooth drive, another incredible strike from him right after that. And made the putt for birdie to go up 12, 1 over Justin, who had then birdied again on 18 with one of the best putts I've ever seen on 18. It was beautiful. Played a perfect drive. Then he flared out his iron shot in the same way that, or his wedge in the same way that he flared that shot on 13. Played a good sand shot. And then here's my reaction to what happened next. I'm so nervous. I'm not cut out for this situation at all. That's what I've been realizing every day. Come on, Rory. It's like a 6-footer. It's far. But we know that's not the end of the story, because in the playoff with Justin Rose, with a man who looked so hungry, he had that Bryson mentality, but he had something Bryson didn't have, the game to back it up. Justin Rose has been firing this week, even though it was the most consistent day in and day out. He had been firing in a way Bryson just really hasn't. And with everything going on with Rory, with the Rory versus Rory chaos dueling in his head all the while he has to duel on the course, I was a little worried with how it would go. But after 2 perfect drives from the both of them, Justin Rose hits a beauty in there, and Rory sticks his wedge shot because he was fighting back at this point. He wasn't trying to keep a lead. He was fighting back in a way I think is much more comfortable for him. He can play aggressive. He can go after shots. That's what he needs to do today. He needs to play like 2000s Tiger, because he has the game to play really well right now. He's just got to get that into his head. Justin Rose is putting now on 18. Oh, it moved just right. Guys, I'm losing my mind. I'm a big Rory fanboy, but oh my God. Okay, door's open. We'll see. All right, he's lining himself up. This is the greatest story that I've seen in my lifetime, probably. I'm glad I get to tell a little bit of it today. Don't worry, there will be more about this as well. But if you did enjoy this video, go watch this one about what the hell was going on with Rory Mcilroy before all this, and get into the chaos a little bit and what's gone wrong with him. And or watch this one about the Tiger Slam, which is the last slam that we have seen. But Rory did it again today, and that's great. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.